This is Matt for Into Boxing. Delighted to be joined for the first time in a while by Kalle Sauerland. Kalle just had another good fight night. Josh Kelly's got his victory to set up the Troy Williamson clash. First off, before we talk about that, what do you make of his performance?
I think it was a very important 10 rounds. I thought he showed many glimpses and phases where he really showed us what he can do. Head movement, speed, power, footwork, very, very nice. Credit to the opponent, made it a difficult night for him. We knew that. We knew we wanted something that would give him the rounds. But for me, control all the way. I mean, the one judge with the one round, I can't quite work out how he scored it that way. But at least he gave it to Josh, I guess. But no, it was all round. Every box tick that we wanted to go on to the next fights. And the Troy Williamson fight's been ordered. It's a fight that I think domestically is very interesting. Yeah. I mean, for me, it's a good fight. British title fight. Sets up where we want to be going. So we begin negotiations next week, and then there's obviously purse bid and things like that. Josh cut his eye in the second last round, I think the ninth round, ninth round. He's having stitches now, so we're going to see where he is with that and move forward from there. I do believe that the domestic fights are important, but for us it is about the horizon of the world title and pushing him up the rankings. WBO tonight, Intercontinental, that helps us push it up to get him in the rankings, and that's where we really want to be. I mean, the British title's a special title, but Josh Kelly, we believe, will be a world champion, and that's the direction we want to go in.
Do you believe we're quite lucky in this country where we have that British title, which is seen as so special, and then you can normally tell from there where someone's going to go and how quickly they will get to world level? It's a prestigious title. It's talked about throughout history. How important is that for Josh to fight for that belt and to claim it?
Yeah, I mean, look, promoted in most major markets around the world, and for me, the only national title that means something is the British belt, and it's a pure belt in that sense. It's a belt that always delivers some great matchups, and often it's a sort of a fight for your right belt, isn't it? It's a fight. It's a belt that allows you to go on and take on the world by storm, so to speak. I think the European title is another one that's also got that pure tag on it. The full European belt. That's also a special one. That's more used. We use it a lot in Germany and in Scandinavia as well. And it's a sort of stepping stone. And in that sense, it's great to have these, especially when they order fights that people want to see. It's so we've got the same situation with Nathan Gorman at the moment. So that's which would also be Fabio Wardley would be a great fight for the autumn.
Moving on from that, we also put some other news for Wasserman this evening. Lyndon Arthur, terrific signing. I think a lot of people will have been interested in him. How pleased are you to get that over the line? There's some belting fights to be made with him. Yeah, I mean,
my brother's been a big fan of his for a long time, and when he called me up and said, should we proceed, and we both immediately said, yeah, absolutely. And I think it caught a few people off guard, and he's an exciting fighter, power, speed, everything you need, and he's at that level where you can move him super fast. I was speaking to him tonight. He just wants to go out there and take them all on, and he's keen to have a third fight with Yard. But he also knows there's Dan Aziz, Callum Johnson, absolutely, Boatsi. So there's a lot of big fights to be made at domestic level, although those fights could also be at a world level, so it's super interesting.
I have to say, speaking to him today, he seems reinvigorated. He says it's nice to feel wanted, feel loved, in his words. How pleasing is it when you've got a fighter coming with that sort of rocket up the backside to want to do well and to feel like he's sort of appreciated?
Yeah, it's very nice. I think also he's very hungry. He's been in camp with Beterbiev. So if he's smiling coming out of a camp with Beterbiev, it can only mean good things. I think that's the sort of levels we got to be looking at. And Beterbiev for me is one of the best fighters in the world at the moment. And you know, he's holding his own with Baturbia, then we know he's, you know, we know what he can do. I mean, we showed that in the yard fights as well, and he's cracking fighter. Very, very excited.
Absolutely. Right, everyone's going to ask you this, but I've got to do. Everyone's talking about Chris Eubank Jr, Conor Benn. Reports have been going online about it's been signed, this, that and the other, from numerous sources.
Yeah.
Can you give us any update on where we're at with this? Where are we at? Are we close?
Yeah, I mean, you know, sources here, there and everywhere. I mean, look, it should be glaring. If any of you were Sherlock Holmes, you'd notice I wasn't at the press conference and I've just turned up here tonight. Yeah. So clearly I've either been on holiday, which I haven't, because I don't have a fantastic suntan at the moment. So I would say, if I was betting, I was working on something in the background, wasn't I?
We know.
But you know, if it were, it's a very special fight, and all the special fights over the years that I've been involved in outside of the World Boxing Super Series, because that was just a monster to put in place, and always will be to put in place, is the tournament, and then those special fights follow because you put the guys in the tournament. You know, to make those fights outside the tournament is very difficult. But if I look back, I don't know, Klitschko Hay, for example, I think it took us 6 months to make the deal. There was so many parties in it, and now people are talking about, oh, there was a statement made about sources saying a deal was signed. I can tell you, at the point of that, I think I was on the way back from Australia. We had an event down in Australia, and I'm on the way back, and I'm getting landing in Qatar, changing planes, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And it's like literally every journalist I pretty much know in the UK is and a few foreign ones is asking, but this has been done, and I'm like, I've been on a plane for 23 hours. Like, no, done. And at that point, we hadn't even exchanged a draft when this fantastic confirmation came out.
There were a few.
Yeah, I mean, I saw Gareth was on the Takia. Maybe it came from the Takia. Maybe the Takia was the source. All I can tell you is I don't know who the source is. I can just assure you it wasn't signed at that point.
But we're close.
I'm not gonna say we're close. I'm just gonna say we're in talks right now. I'd say, it's a great fight to watch. I wouldn't say even talk about the fight. It's a spectacle, isn't it? It's something a bit above beyond boxing.
Absolutely. Kalle Sauerland, thanks for talking to Into Boxing as usual. Appreciate your time.